We are live on the chat with percussionist Mariana Ramirez and Emmy winning journalist Areli Morales. Hi, ladies, how are you?
Hola chicos, hola Mariana, hola Roberto.
Hola, thank you so much for being with me on this monumental day, which is Women's International Day. With that being said, I do want to ask each of you what this day means to you. So, Mariana, what does International Women's Day mean to you?
This day is very special for me because I remember that since I was a little girl, my dad made a whole deal about it. So it was like it's always been on my mind. And what it means for me is a day to remind or remember the importance of women in everyday's life. Just to say something, life wouldn't be possible without a woman. Um, Nobody will be able to give birth without a woman. We also need the man, but the woman is the one that ends up doing that. So it's a special day to remember that women have a very important role in everyday's life, from the most basic thing to one of the most important things, like politics or science or finances. Um, it's also a day to remember that we have to keep working and looking for equality, because sometimes even if we are very important, we don't it or the value for that. And sometimes we even have to work harder than a man. And we just want recognition. I think one of the first steps to find equality is to be recognized. And this day is good to remember that.
Yeah, well, you're right. I think the first step, like you said, it is recognition, right? You have to recognize the value of women as you strive for equality. Areli, what does this day mean to you?
For me, it means a lot of things. One of them is la lucha que hemos hecho las mujeres for the past 50, 60 years. And at the movement, the march, everything that we're doing to raise our voice. I think in the past 10 years, we've been seeing a lot of change in everything, even from jobs that women are in constructions, even in government. Now we can see the difference that we show in the world that we can do the same jobs as a men can do. And for me, also means that not as a celebration, but to keep fighting for our rights, to keep fighting for the equality, like Mariana say, not to go around the world, because there's still a lot of countries that a lot of women is still treated like as objects. They don't have rights. They don't have rights to vote. They don't have rights to talk. They don't have rights to do anything. So I think la lucha continúa, and we still have to keep, put the big name, the Women's International Day. So for me, I think it is a lot of things, not just for me as a woman, but I think for my daughter and for my family and for my friends and for the communities.
Yeah, and you're right. It is a reminder that the fight continues, right? That it's a celebration of what's been achieved, but the fight continues. It's not, obviously, we're not done yet, or women are not done yet with the fight towards equality. So, Mariana, what woman, inspires you? Is there a particular woman that does inspire you?
I look up to many women in different fields, but one of my heroes is Sheila E., because she is a percussionist and she was the first woman percussionist in the 70s or those years. I'm not exactly sure what year, but she was the first one who started playing with bands like Santana, and she's very talented. She has played with the big artists that I will always love to play, and I think she's very important in my field, because as her being one of the first, she opened the road for the rest of us that came behind her. Like, without women like her, it would be harder for a female to play in a band or to play drums or something like that. And I also really look up to her because her dad is Mexican, so I feel very identified with her because we share that kind of blood, and she's an icon in my field.
Yeah, that's great. And you, Areli, how about you? Is there someone in particular that inspires you?
I don't have a specific one. I think if I had to say a name, I would say 100 names. But I believe for me, I would say that the woman that fights for the rights, a woman that raised the voice to help another woman's, the women that they fight every day to change things that nobody cared, like the rights of the women. And I think I would say all women that work harder to change the rules, like I would say the rules. But for me, it's like the women that fight every day to help other women.
Yeah, you're right. Well, because it's today we celebrate all women on International Women's Day, so it is a team effort that everybody is out there fighting. I do want to move on to sexism because a lot of women out there are facing a lot of discrimination, sexism in the workplace. So, Mariana, I'll start with you. Have you ever experienced any sexism, sexual harassment of any sort? You know, while you were perhaps auditioning for a job, or just experience, in general.
Well, I think we all women, we've experienced that kind of stuff in a smaller level or medium or bigger. I think we all go through that. In my case, it was a little harder when I was in Mexico, and I won an orchestra audition. And when a woman gets a job that many people want, uh, we get asked, how did we get there? Like, we never, people don't really assume like, oh, she got there because she worked really hard, she's talented, and she got it because because she deserves it. It's like, sometimes it could be like, why did she get it? Like, how is that possible? Like, yes, she's talented, but there should be another reason. So that's one of the strongest experiences I lived in my career, and it made me um, try to fight and show everybody that it was because of my hard work and my talent. So it's just uncomfortable when you get something as a woman, and instead of being recognized for that, you get questioned. Like,
Wow.
that's not that's not something fun to go through. But you have to learn how to deal with that, and I think the best way to deal with that is just to keep working hard and show everybody that your work is good. So no
Yeah.
matter what anyone says, your work is good, and that's what it speaks about you.
Yeah, that was powerful because it's true. Instead of being celebrated, you're questioned. And it shouldn't be that way. How about you, Areli? What's been your experience?
Uh, I think there was two that I feel really uncomfortable. I went to I like to do network. I like to be everywhere, trying to get contacts to see how it works. I'm very curious. I went to Miami to this red carpet, I remember, and there was this. I'm not sure what he was, but he was acting like he was a producer, a camera guy. I don't know, but I was like very covered. Sometimes I wear sexy stuff, but not for my job. I try to be, very professional in the way that I look for my job. So he told me you should show more your breasts. That way you people can look at you more. I was like, what he's trying to say? I don't want people to look at me like because of my body or because the way I look. I want people to look at me, as I inspire, as a something like you can move, like as any motivation, no another thing. I don't want. And then he mentioned something about social media, like I have to show more legs, and it makes me really uncomfortable. I was thinking about it the whole way back home, like maybe that was true, because now you see girls on social media that they're like exposing themselves too much just to get viewers, likes, and followers. But that was
Mm-hmm.
something that I will not do because I have a daughter and I want to be an example of my daughter. And that makes me feel really uncomfortable. And the second one, it was my first year at the station. There was a supervisor when I started, and he was doing these jokes not just to me, also to my coworkers. It was like in a sarcastic way, but I was like in my mind, that's not right. But nobody was doing anything. Nobody was.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody was scared to talk. Everybody was scared to say something to the VP. I guess because they get used to that. But when you're new and you come with a different mind, when you come with a different visions, sometimes it's not the same. So I feel really uncomfortable the way he was talking to me or the jokes that this person was doing around another woman's, and they were like that, no, like nice jokes. So I think until now there is still people or men out there that see you as a more than a object. It's not just because you're smart or like human, like you say, sexually they see
Yeah.
you as the way they think they are, but they don't see your efforts. They don't see that you can do more. So I think those two occasions make me think that a lot of people until now they still seeing women as an object. So I think that I would say those two occasions.
Yeah. And that's something that obviously the fight continues, right? To fight sexual harassment for women at work, at the job, and to value, what women can provide, the talent that you guys can provide, because it's not, like you said, you don't want to be perceived as an object at work. You want to be, rated based on your talent. Now, both of you are immigrants. Both of you immigrated to the United States. What was the reason for? I'm sure you immigrated for opportunities, but it was probably for equality as well, right? To come to a place where perhaps women were more accepted, looked at in a more equal way at work. Would you agree that that was the reason, Mariana, that you came to this country? Tell us at what time you came to, at what age you came to this country, and what made you immigrate to the United States.
Yeah, I arrived to the United States when I was 22. I had a dream to study abroad. Like, I didn't know where at the time, but I got a scholarship to go to Rutgers University for percussion. And one of the main reasons, yeah, I was looking for equality because sometimes in Mexico it was very challenging. Like, I was in a field where mostly everybody was men. There were not many girls in the school, and we always had to deal, like negotiate of how to be a woman between so many men. To you, I always have to be proving myself that I was talented, or I was able to put the work that I needed, and sometimes even doing that in an audition, like I won the audition, and many people question it. How would I win if it was for another reason? So I just didn't want to deal with that. Like, I really wanted to find a place where opportunities were given not based in gender. And that's why I came to the States. And I can tell that there's more flexibility or more equality here. Very few times, like almost none, I've heard comments about me being a woman playing, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't take them bad. Like, actually, I am really grateful for the opportunities that I received in the United States. The challenge was to be a Mexican. Being a Mexican in the United States is not easy because of all the comments that has been made through the years by the politicians. And yeah, like sometimes I think that has affected me on having opportunities, or just the way people treated me because I am a Mexican. And That's not been very fun. But my solution for that is, again, to work hard, to be nice with everybody that I know, to treat people like humans, regardless their gender or anything. And that's like my mission, to prove that Mexicans are hard workers, we are good people, and we can help the society to improve. We have really good things to offer, as I think everybody does, like Latinos, any Latinos. So
Yeah. How about you, Areli? Tell us what brought you to America.
Well, I come from a very humble family. I would not say middle class. It was really poor. My mom, she decided to immigrate to this country to bring us a better future to my brothers and sisters and I. And I think the quality would say that my mom, she decided to leave my dad because, she was a worker. She was just, her work was at home with the kids. So
Hmm.
she decided to break those chains and, say I need to do something for myself, not to wait for my husband. So she left my dad. She left us when we were really kids. So she immigrated to this country. After years, she started like saving money to bring my brothers and sisters. And I was the last one to come here. And I come here when I was 16, 17 years old. And it took me the I think the worst part because as an underage you cannot get out from your country. So I come through Mexico, crossing the border, and as a girl, and doing those difficult paths, it's hard
Yeah.
because crossing the border, it was a challenge for me as I was the only youngest one in the group of people that were transporting. So it was scary. It was fear because people there, they look you as something they're gonna eat right away. And somehow I think like I have angels around me. I did it. But the second part, the hard part was when I was in this country. I was starting school, and being as a not having a legal status is difficult. It's difficult because everybody is like doing their dreams. They keep moving forward, and I was
Yeah.
staying behind. And I was like, why? Because I'm a legal status, they can put you in a size not to have a good job, not just because you're a woman, but it's because you are also illegal.
Hmm.
But it was kind of difficult as a woman, and I don't have a legal status to do a lot of things in the past 15 years. It took me a long time to pursue my dreams, my goals. But that process make me see that women, we have a difficult because they don't see us that we can do the jobs that men are doing. So you have to challenge yourself. And I've been seeing my mom and sister doing jobs that men can do, moving, construction. I've been seeing a lot of friends that they try to survive doing anything, but a legal status as an immigrant, it gets you worse. And woman, I think, is the worst part. Is like it's not a balance. They treat you like worse than that. So I come here for a better future, and not just for me. I think my mom, she was to decide to break those chains so me and my brothers and sisters can have a better future.
Yeah. So how did you, with this story that you just told me, I mean, how did you feel when you won your Emmy? Because you're an immigrant, like you said, you had to learn English. You're a woman. So with all those obstacles, you still manage, to get out there, into journalism and win an Emmy. So how did you? I mean, what came to cross your mind when someone told you, "Hey, you've been nominated for an Emmy," and then you won?
I mean,
How did you
I,
feel?
I would say that was really a surprise. I was like, I didn't believe it. I was like, how? Because people makes you feel like that. People makes you feel that sometimes you cannot do things. People makes you feel that you can dream. People makes you feel that it's too late, that your age, they, that you're a mom, that people can make you feel the worst thing on the world. Sometimes a lot of us, they take us on their heads and we live in ourselves. And I think it was a great achieve that I did. I didn't do it just for
Yeah.
me. I did it for my family. I did it for my daughter. I did it for all the people that support me on the past 10 years because I was on the field doing, volunteers. Sometimes even though I had free jobs, but I was like, my legal status is not gonna stop me. I was like trying to learn. I was walking outside. I was trying to do research. I was trying to do things that take me, and my mom was like, I'm gonna have my residence and I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna eat the world. But it was difficult because I remember that it was a lot of obstacles, a lot of
Yeah.
no's, a lot of nobody wants to help you, nobody wants to guide you, even though you try hard. And I was like that to like 5 seconds to say I'm not gonna submit my story to the Emmys because I feel that pressure when people they don't want you to success. They don't want you to. They don't want you to see that you have these visions, these goals, and they want you. Oh no, don't do it. Oh no, that's not worth it. No, you're not gonna win. You don't know how to do that because you're new. Or I was new at my work, so everybody was like, no, you're new. You need 10 years experience. So I was like, no, I will do it. And I managed to do it by myself. And when I got a nomination, it was like, for me, it was like, I feel like I was a winner already. I was like, this is a step to continue to bring more stories about our artists because I think the industry and the entertainment and artists, we don't have a lot of support with the local artists. Like in this case, in the DMV in Virginia, Maryland, and Washington D.C., we have a good artist, but we don't have the support of the news or the support of the media because sometimes the media want famous people. But
Yeah.
I did it, and then I won the Emmy. I think I cried so much that I remember I
Oh
hear
my.
my name. I was like, "Oh my god!" I was like, "I did it! I did it! I did it! I did it!" And then it makes me see that women, we can do everything. We can do everything if we don't hear the negative things that people is saying around you. And also another part was like a lot of people was saying, I was saying that, oh, you just got luck, it's just, oh,
Oh
you're
my
so
God.
lucky. They don't see that you're doing your effort, that you're working hard. But yeah, that was the thing.
Oh my God. Yeah, I mean, that's like an insult, saying you were so lucky. You're like, no, I worked really hard for this. Um, yeah, I mean, sometimes people need to process what they're saying before they say it. But, this year I have to mention, a lot of women have a lot to celebrate this year because we have the first woman vice president, Kamala Harris. So I do want to ask each one of you, how did you feel when she won the election on November 3rd and she became the first woman vice president of color to be in office? I'll start with you, Mariana. How did you feel? Oh, did we lose Mariana? I think we lost her. We might get her back. We'll see if she joins. But Areli, how did you feel?
Well, I feel happy. It's excited. It's a step ahead. So that make you know get more young people inspired. Like believe me, I wanted to see in the future a Spanish or a Latina on the government. But I was so happy. I can say that my daughter, she got motivated. Now we can see more people that they can have the chance that they're not in one side is it's excluded like from other people. But yeah, I think it's different times that women are, they getting there. They're getting where nobody believed that, one day we're gonna be there. But I think that's an example that we still can do, work hard for our dreams and whatever we can do. I think that was a great step not just for the United States, also for another countries.
Yeah, for other countries, for women. And like you said, she's inspiring a new generation of women like your daughter, right? It sends the message to her that, anything is possible. Okay, we are reconnected with Mariana. Mariana lost her connection, so we are back with her on the chat. Thank you, Mariana, for joining again.
Thank
And
you. Sorry about that.
no, no problem. We were talking about Kamala Harris and her historic win as the first woman vice president, first vice president of color. So, how do you feel to have, the first woman of color? Like I said, she looks like a lot of people, right, because of her biracial background. So, how do you feel when you see a woman get to that position in government?
Well, it was very, very exciting. I was following a little bit the campaign at the end, like before they got elected. So once they got elected, I remember that day that we were cheering and like watching the news, and it was super exciting because I think she represents that dreams are possible, and just to have a woman in the politics of one of the most influential countries in the world is just a statement that equality is on its way, that equality is happening, even though we have a big way to go, like a long way to go. It's possible and it's happening. Like things like that just give us hope, or at least for me, it gives me hope as a woman, as a Latina woman, that if I keep working hard, things are gonna keep happening. And so that I think that's very important, especially nowadays with like all the changes that we've been experiencing with COVID-19 and all the changes. But I think just her being there, it gives us hope.
Yeah, and it gives a hope, I think, to a new generation of women. As Areli was saying, for her daughter, it inspires her that, someday she could achieve, high position in government or do whatever, it doesn't have to be in government, but do anything that you set your mind to do as a woman. So before we go, where can people find you on Instagram and Twitter?
Well, I am with my name, Areli, P. Morales in Instagram, and Twitter the same, and Facebook just Areli.
Okay, perfect. I want to thank you for being with me today, and I will talk to you soon. Happy International Women's Day.
Thank you, Roberto. Gracias por la invitación. Y nada,
Sí,
saludos. Hasta pronto.
hasta pronto. Nos vemos. Bye.
Bye.
I want to thank you for being on the chat today, you and Areli, and to our viewers to learn more about these two trailblazing Latina women. Please check out the Trifopa YouTube channel. So if you just go to YouTube, go to search for Trifopa, I'm sorry, which is the Triangle for Performing Arts. And there is a video of each of these two women that talks about their career and their experience. Um, so please check that out. And where can people follow you, Mariana, on social media?
Yeah, I'm on Facebook and Instagram, but I think the best way to follow me is on Instagram, and you can find me at Mariana_drums, and I'll be there.
Cool. And you can find me anywhere on Instagram and Twitter. Live on the chat is my handle everywhere. So look me up, and don't forget to sign up to my YouTube channel, which is also live on the chat. Well, thank you so much, Mariana. It was
Thank
great
you. It was
talking
a
to you.
pleasure to. Thank you. It was a pleasure to be here. Thanks so much for inviting me.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.